Good morning and welcome to the Morning Scoop for Monday, April 11th. This is your Daily Buckeye Fix. I'm Tom Orr. The spring game is in 5 days, the Notre Dame game in 145 days, the game against Michigan in 229 days. This is the week we start wrapping up our spring football coverage as we count down the days to Saturday's spring game. Today we're going to be going through the final set of player interviews before the spring game, the defensive backs. Now, there are a lot of interesting stories there. The arrival of Tanner McCalister, the emergence of Jordan Hancock and Jakailin Johnson, the recovery of Josh Proctor, and much more. As always, these clips are courtesy of the Ohio State University Athletics Department. And we're going to start with the new guy, Tanner McCalister, who has already lost his black stripe. McCalister, of course, previously played for Jim Knowles at Oklahoma State, and is seemingly at the front of the line for that starting nickel safety spot. How has his adjustment to Columbus and the Ohio State program gone so far?
Yeah, that's a good question. So far, so good. I mean, since day one, obviously it's a new defense, so guys are learning it. Even for me, a lot of people, you would assume like, oh, this guy knows the whole defense, and I mean, there's always stuff to learn. So even me, I'm trying to, to further develop my knowledge of the defense as well, and even though I'm comfortable in it. And also, getting other guys along, and I think the guys honestly beat my expectation as far as how well they're picking it up. So that's really good. That's a good sign. We're closing towards the end of spring, and the defense is starting to come together, and we're starting to look good. I mean, you can ask CJ, we're starting to get after the offense a little bit, so that's exciting to see. But yeah, I'm enjoying Columbus. I'm enjoying the teammates. They're like brothers to me now. So even though it's only been 4 months, 5 months, I don't know, but yeah, I'm enjoying it.
McCalister is obviously very familiar with Jim Knowles' defense, having played in it for the last 4 years at Oklahoma State. But what else made the idea of transferring to Ohio State so appealing to him?
Coming to a university like Ohio State, you got your Alabamas, you got your other schools, but coming to a university like this, every year they're going to put Ohio State preseason top 4. They're going to be top 2, if not 1. You know what I mean? So when I was making my decision, obviously that was a big factor. I was like, man, this is probably going to be a championship team. I wanted to be a championship team. So coming from, honestly, we were probably going to be a championship team, at least in our conference. We fell short at Oklahoma State, but we're about to be a championship team there. So I got a little taste of that. And once I decided I was going to transfer, I kind of wanted that feeling again. So that played a big part in my decision to come here.
We've talked a bunch this spring about the fact that Knowles runs a 3-safety scheme. There is a nickel spot that McCalister and Cam Martinez are at, the adjuster or sort of free safety spot, that's where Ronnie Hickman has been working, and then the bandit or boundary safety spot. Court Williams has been there, and now Josh Proctor is starting to work his way into the rotation at boundary as well. So what does McCalister see as the advantage of that kind of alignment as opposed to, say, the more traditional 2-safety lineup?
I think probably the biggest thing is just speed. Obviously safeties and corners are faster than, linebackers and D linemen. So, when you got that 3-safety position, you got guys that, play safety but can be like a linebacker, like your Rockets, your Ronnie Hickmans, your Court Williams, even Josh Proctor. I mean, you got guys that can play like linebackers even though they move like safety. So I probably say that's the biggest benefit of just having more speed on the field and just being able to fly around and get to the ball faster.
McCalister has seen that Leo or Jack position up close for 4 years now at Oklahoma State. So how is he seeing it starting to take shape for the Buckeyes? You're going to hear him mention Mitch here. That is Mitchell Melton, the former linebacker who has been working at Jack this spring.
I'll say that position going to make a lot of plays. So I'm sure all them guys in that D-line room trying to get there. That's a position that you put into a lot of the Leo or the Rush, whatever you're going to call it, or the Jack. They're put into a lot of different positions to be successful and make plays. So whoever gets it, I mean, you're going to see him a lot. You're going to see his number a lot. And I want to say 20 Mitchell, he's been kind of popping out to me just as far as, because I think he's playing that right now. He's been making some plays. So, but you're going to see that number, whoever's playing that Jack, a lot.
Ronnie Hickman, who the guys all call Rocket, he was the leading tackler on last year's defense while mostly playing the boundary safety spot. Now he's back at more of what you'd traditionally think of the free safety position, and what Knowles calls the adjuster. So how does McCalister think that Rocket is handling the adjustment to adjuster?
I think he's looked really good. To me, Rocket's a pretty versatile safety. To me, he's obviously a bigger safety, but he can run. He can cover. So I think that's probably why Coach Knowles wanted to put him there in that middle position, so he can do a few different things. I mean, he can blitz as well. So in that middle position, they do a lot of different things. I mean, they're not just playing deep all the time. You know what I mean? So he gets to blitz. You know, he gets to cover down the box. He gets to play linebacker almost. So it's similar to what he did at Bullitt. It's just more in the middle instead of in the boundary. And then that boundary position, you know, we got Core and we got Proc playing that too. And you know, they get to roll to the middle probably maybe more than the adjuster, which is the middle safety. So you might see, you know, the boundary safety in the middle more than the middle safety. So it's just a lot of different things Coach knows likes to do with the defense. So, you know, a lot of people think the boundary safety is like, you know, the box guy, but, you know, both of them really do similar things. So, and Rocket, Court, Proc, they can all play both of those positions.
Josh Proctor has been another big storyline in the secondary. He said he's more or less full go right now as long as he feels good. Now, you may remember he had a really bad leg injury against Oregon last year and missed the rest of the season. He's said he's about a month ahead of schedule, which is obviously great news. So between McCalister's experience with Jim Knowles and Proctor's experience at Ohio State, how are they working together this spring?
It kind of plays all together, like you said. Like, he knows the scheme, he knows the ins and outs. So maybe if like a coach tries to explain something to us that we don't understand, he can put it in terms for us. And with me, like I said, it's just leadership, just having that experience and being around, knowing these guys that have been here and helping him out.
Proctor talked last week, kind of for the first time since suffering that injury, about what really happened there, and it was a compound fracture of his lower leg that he suffered in that Oregon game. Now, before that, there was a possibility that he would be headed off to the NFL after last season, and the injury obviously changed all of that. So, how quickly did he come to terms with the fact that his plans were going to have to change? You're going to hear that, and then you're going to hear a couple of follow-ups from Austin Ward of Letterman Row.
I was kind of on it right away, because I felt like I didn't go out like I wanted to. Like, I wasn't able to achieve what I wanted to achieve, being with the guys and just being here. So I feel like it probably took me about a good month or two to really grasp that, okay, I'm working my way back to another year and getting back into the swing of things.
Was that, you know, was it hard for you to come to terms with that? I mean,
it definitely was, because like you said, I had goals. I felt that it was maybe God's plan, kind of sit me down, and maybe I just wasn't ready. Who knows?
Yeah.
So.
And I know that you're not able to do everything quite yet through spring. So, but if you gauge the progress physically, how close do you feel to where you were going into last year, and how confident you were?
Just right now, I was just trying to get my feet back under me. Like, this is actually my first full week just going and being able to do like the team reps and everything. So this is just trying to get back out there. Like, I know I have some time to go, but
yeah, how was that part felt? Just
it's
another mile marker.
First getting back out, this just kind of shaky. Everything's still moving fast again. Just being back out there, heart pumping a little bit. But it just takes some getting used to, getting those reps and calming yourself down, getting that confidence back day by day.
Spring is a time when young players get a chance to really start to make their marks on the program. This spring, a pair of second-year cornerbacks, Jordan Hancock and Jakailin Johnson, are seemingly starting to do just that. Hancock got a chance to play a little bit last fall. How did he think his first year on campus went?
I feel like I had good growing pains. Okay. I feel like I had that. I feel like I needed to fill things out, you know, because I came in the summer, so my body wasn't ready, but I feel like my body is taking a big jump, and I feel like physically I'm ready and stuff like that. And playing special teams, getting my feet wet, and just getting used to the speed of the game, I feel like that was a good change.
At one point during those interviews, Hancock talked about some growing pains going up against that Ohio State wide receiver unit. What did he mean by that?
You know, seeing how they move. You know, high school, people didn't give you like wiggle at the line, but this year in college, they know they kind of have the counter to your counter basically, and I just had to go through that.
One of the big things that's changed from Hancock since he was only arrived last summer is now he's had a chance to go through winter workouts with Coach Mickey Marotti. So after some serious time in the strength program, how has Hancock's game improved on the field?
Right now I can put hands on. I feel like my ability to put my hands on and move receivers physically with Coach Mick, working on bench press and like my legs and stuff like that. So now I'm really moving the receivers' routes and getting them off their landmarks and stuff like that.
Hancock has basically been the third cornerback this spring behind Denzel Burke and Cam Brown. How has he gotten prepared to take on a much bigger role in the defense this spring?
Getting in with Coach Mick, getting Coach Mick make me physically be ready and stuff like that, and also tapping in with Coach Walt before practice, after practice, just watching film, how to get better on my technique. We kind of do that every day, and it's routine now, and I feel like it's just made my play better on the field.
The other second-year corner who's gotten talked up a lot as someone who's made a big improvement this spring is Jakailin Johnson. You'll also hear us call him J.K. Johnson. Here he is discussing how he thinks he's gotten better since last fall. Here's his answer on that, and then a couple of follow-ups from Dan Hope of 11 Warriors.
For me, probably like my mindset. I've been trying to work on my mindset more, and like next play mentality, and working on my technique over off season, and just trying to get better at the little things.
How is your mindset different now than it was when you got here?
Well, before I came, I knew it was gonna be tough, but I didn't know it was gonna be tough. But now that I know, you just gotta push through it, push through everything, from workouts to lifting to everything, nutrition, all that.
Was there an eye-opening moment last year that made you realize how tough this was going to be?
Probably when Garrett caught a ball on me, caught a deep ball, and I had next play.
You and Jordan and Denzel, you all came in together. Denzel played a lot last year. Seems like you and Jordan are making moves. How much are you three all pushing each other?
Every day from film room to the field, we want everybody to be the best they can be. So it's competitive between us three, but it's a brotherhood too.
Johnson missed almost the entire season last fall after fracturing his shoulder on one of the very first plays he got a chance to make. What was it like to have to sit out almost his first full year as a college football player?
It was a learning experience. I had to, it was hard, because this is all I got for real. So when I got hurt, it was like I went to another whole mode and mindset of just going harder.
This is going to be a very busy week on the Morning Scoop, and probably all of our podcasts, in fact. This was the last, obviously, player interviews of the spring, but we're going to have a lot more to talk about. There's a lot of recruiting stuff going on this week that we got to talk about. We're going to have a lot of spring game preview stuff. We'll try and have Ross Fulton on later on in the week to discuss what he's going to be looking for when he's watching the spring game on Saturday, so you can watch, come into the game a little smarter, and then hopefully go out of the, leave the game a little bit smarter as well, watching the game the way that Ross is watching the game. And then we'll have plenty more coverage, preview, stories to watch, and much, much more. That'll be all this week. So make sure you, if you are not subscribed to this and all of our other podcasts, this would be a very good time to do it, because there should be a lot to talk about this week in the lead up to that spring game. You can find them all. Just search Buckeye Scoop, and you can subscribe to the Gives in the Bank podcast with Mark Givler and Builder Bank Green, the Big Me Kickoff podcast with Kevin Noon, Around the Oval with Alex Gleitman, and Buckeye Weekly with Tony Gerderman and I. All shows that will be talking a whole bunch of Ohio State football this week. Make sure you're subscribed to all those and leave us a 5-star rating and review, which is a little thing you can do that makes a big difference on our end. So thank you guys all for joining us. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.